Hello, hello, hello. I am super excited today to give you some amazing, amazing stuff today. If you are a female leader, this is going to be for you. So I'm going to give this a few moments. It's uploading, actually trying to connect to LinkedIn, which is where I promise a lot of people this will be streaming. So we're going to give it just a couple of minutes. Anybody else is going to join us live today? By the way, if you ever want to join me live on these every 2 weeks, then please reach out to me. Send me a message throughout the platform that you're watching this on, and I will send you the link to it. Also, just giving just a moment for it to upload to LinkedIn as well. If you have any questions today, definitely send those in the chats, which one this is linked to. If you're in LinkedIn, comment below. I'll send you whatever questions you have today throughout this, and I will absolutely answer those for you. Facebook, the same way. And then, of course, YouTube, comment below, and I will send you the answers to your questions that you have about this. So, all right, well, it's 11 o'clock. Let's get started. So today, we're going to talk about from pressure to presence, how to lead without losing yourself. Answer. Too many screens up. Okay. Awesome. So again, I'm Alicia Farricielli. For those of you who do not know me, I am the founder of Frequency of Her, which is a new program for emotional intelligence consulting and coaching for women, for business owners, for entrepreneurs, for people who want to learn more about that. Awesome. We got someone joining us real quick. Hi there. Welcome, Stefan. So we're going to continue on. So again, about me is I'm a guide for women who are ready to lead without losing themselves. I've been that person before. I've been in multiple businesses and completely lost who I was and who I wanted to be. And so I guide primarily women back to this frequency. I have multiple certifications: emotional intelligence, meditation, breathwork, EFT, yoga, health coaching, metaphysical science, all kinds of different stuff. I'm a Reiki master. I am an ordained reverend. I can marry you if you would like. And I'm also a certified life coach. I do have a bachelor's degree in metaphysical sciences as well. So I do have some credit. That's just to tell you a little bit of credibility that I have behind what I do right now. But again, more than titles, I'm here to help powerful women soften, recalibrate, and return to their own frequencies. Hi, Lauren.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. So we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. So
Very
I'm going to
cool.
go ahead and mute you if you don't mind. And everyone in. Awesome. I love having a live audience this time. This is fantastic. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
Hi. I'm going to go ahead and mute you until the very end, and then we'll answer some questions. It's okay. Cool. So I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. With my husband, we have a mini golden doodle named Nadia. I love the ocean. I love beach walks. I absolutely love it. I love St. Petersburg. I love traveling the world. I love seeing new things, new experiences. And most importantly, I love holding space for women who are shaping what's next. Motto is leadership gets easier when you stop abandoning yourself. So we need to be truly authentic in who we are, especially as women leaders. Let's see. All right. So why are you here today? Well, recent studies indicate that nearly half of women in senior leadership roles report experiencing burnout. That's a lot of people, a lot of women. So, hi, Deanne. Gonna go ahead and mute you, but we'll have questions at the end. So, all right. Okay. Sorry, I got a new computer and I'm trying to figure out how to work all this. So women are often expected to manage emotions of others while hiding their own, and usually that effort usually goes unseen. Think about all the times that you have had another colleague, just primarily because you're a woman and you have that beautiful energy coming off of you, that beautiful comforting energy come off of you, and you get stuck in talking to a coworker because talk about their relationship problems, or you get stuck at the water cooler chat because so-and-so is having an issue with so-and-so else. And so you get stuck with all the the gossip that goes on, and you're expected to manage their emotions. And it's primarily because of the feminine energy that you're giving out to others. And so again, we want to protect that. And I'll teach you a little bit about that in a little while. So your ability to lead with intuition, emotional clarity, and presence is not a soft skill. As women, we're told so often that we need to almost man up, not have any emotions. We need to walk in to be strong and be emotionless. But our power and our greatest strengths are in the emotions that we have, in the way that we can portray that back and forth, the way that we can read the room, the way that we can understand people. As women, that's our natural gifts that we have, that is really our greatest advantage. So today we're going to talk about how to shift, how to regulate your nervous system for sustainable leadership, reconnect with your internal frequency, which is your beautiful feminine power that you have inside of you, and move from reactivity to grounded presence. So the cost of leading from pressure. So when we lead from pressure, and I'm talking about, there are times that we have pressure in our lives that we have to adapt to, and a lot of us are really good at that. I'm talking about the unnatural pressures that we put on ourselves, that other people put on us as well. So when we lead from that type of pressure, where overfunctioning becomes normalized, where we're doing way too much, which leads to stress, which leads to burnout, which leads to down to not just costing you money, but it costs you your health as well too. Where overthinking leads to decision fatigue. So how many of you guys, I know a lot of women, they're always in their head, they're overthinking. That's a natural thing for us. But a lot of times that's also society telling us, hey, you need to think about this. You shouldn't trust yourself. So overthinking leads to decision fatigue. Emotional disconnection reduces influence and trust. Burnout hides behind productivity. If we're always going, and we always have to be working, we always have to be hustling, always have to be doing stuff, that's going to lead to burnout. Your body holds what you don't process. So think about that. If you're not processing through the emotions, you're not processing through the stress, you're not taking time for yourself, your body's holding all this all in. So you're stressed out, you're tensed up, and what happens? You get headaches, right? Your jaw hurts, your stomach hurts, you're exhausted by the end of the day, but you can't shut your mind off. So that's what your body is holding all that stress in. And I want you, anything before walking away, to know you're never meant to prove your worth through performance. I can give you guys backstories, and I would talk to you one-on-one later on of the things that I thought I had to prove my worth with was always performance, productivity, more. But that never made me even more worthy, and it just led to burnout. So we're going to refining your power. True power is rooted in presence, not performance. So think about the most meaningful conversations that you've had. It's not someone who's performing and trying to get your attention and try to impress you. It's the conversations you have with friends when they're present, they're listening, they're focused. Think about that in meetings too. Your most respected leaders are the ones that are present for you, that are compassionate, that lead from that softness, rather than they're trying to exert themselves. Redefining power means staying connected to your emotions and leading from them with clarity, not chaos. When your nervous system feels safe, your leadership becomes steady. Power is not about being the loudest, it's about being energetically clear. So let's talk about the nervous system and leadership. So what happens under pressure? Well, you have different parts of your brain, and two of your parts of your brain is your amygdala, which is in the back, and you have a prefrontal cortex. So your amygdala is the one that's saying, there's a tiger coming, you better run. Then your prefrontal cortex comes around and says, wait a minute, that's not a tiger. That's just someone that needs something done right now on their own terms. And so the way our bodies reacts is this part right here develops before this does. So if we had a lot of chronic stress growing up especially chronic stress in our lives right now, our prefrontal cortex is not developing like it's supposed to. So we're always living in our amygdala. Hard word to say for me. So when you regulate these two portions of it, you're going to access calm clarity. Your presence becomes magnetic. You reconnect with your intuition, which is women, ladies, this is what we lead with right here. We are intuitive beings. And you lead from inner truth. So quick tip is to begin Any meeting that you have with 60 seconds of grounding. If you work in a corporate environment, take that 60 seconds, go to the restroom, sit in the stall, and ground yourself through breath. We're breathing, just taking deep breaths. And we're going to do some grounding work in a minute. Another thing, you can just rub your fingers, start to notice sensations, start to notice the way things smell, the way things feel. How am I feeling through all this? That will start to ground you. So there's 4 leadership frequencies that I really focus on. Is we have the hyperdrive, or the overachiever. You're always proving, fixing, you're carrying it all. All the responsibilities, it's really a control, like you're controlling everything and you don't trust other people. I find this very, very, very often with women, especially women business owners, is we don't want to let go of control because we can do it better. We don't want to give stuff off because we can do it better. Disconnected. We're numb, we're disengaged, we're emotionally muted. This is the quiet quitting, and that's so popular right now. As people are numbed out, they're disengaged, and they're just not there. They're going to work, they're doing their job just enough, or you're in your business and you're doing your business just enough to keep it going, but you're really not engaged in it. You're really not happy. You're not really present there, and you're not getting any benefit out of it besides maybe a paycheck. The emerging person, they're aware, they're unraveling, they're starting to rebuild. They're starting to realize this is not the way that life is supposed to be, not the way I'm supposed to run my business or my job. This is just not the way it's supposed to be. And then you come into aligned. You're present, you're intuitive, you're grounded. You're leading from that feminine power that's so important. So as you can see on here, and I'm going to send you these slides as well to you. If you're currently wondering where you're leading from, I have a quiz on my website you're more than welcome to take as well. Okay, so we want to go from reaction to synergy. First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to regulate before you respond. Some ways to do that is a 5-second pause. So if someone asks you a question and you're nervous about answering it, do a 5-second pause and then answer. Someone comes at you, say in a meeting, and they're not happy, 5-second pause. Then you can also name the emotion. A lot of us go through life and we don't really know what emotions we're feeling. And I find that really, really common with people right now is they don't know. I don't really know how I feel. Really sit with that. And do I feel disappointment right now? No, I feel a little anger. Okay, so I feel anger. I'm going to sit with this anger. I'm just going to name this anger. I feel angry right now. And once you say that, you almost start to calm down a little bit. You're releasing and acknowledging that emotion that wants to come out. And then you anchor with some type of sensation. Again, you may be rubbing your fingers, planting your feet on the ground, stomping around, just anchoring yourself with some kind of sensation. Then we're going to speak with emotional clarity, not urgency. Then you're going to trust your intuition as intelligence. So synergy creates results. Reaction creates resistance. So there's some practices that create presence, and we're going to do the 2-minute nervous system reset to do daily in just a moment, so I'll go over that. Boundaries around energetic leaks. Okay, so set boundaries around your emails, around multitasking, around emotional labor, all the things in your workplace. Set healthy boundaries, not too rigid boundaries, but healthy boundaries that are going to help you thrive. Emotional check-ins before strategy. Pause and breathe, like we said before. Name what's true. So a lot of times we'll say, this is happening. I'm just going to give you an example. My boss called me into the office. I think he's upset or she's upset. Well, is this true? We don't really know what's true. What is true now is I need to be in this office and I need to be present and grounded. Notice body signals off of yourself and off of other people. And then you're going to shift the state. So we're going to take a pause and breathe. My boss wants to see me now. Taking that 5 seconds in. What's true about the situation? Well, I don't really know what he or she, I'm going to say he wants to know right now. Notice body signals. I'm feeling a little tense in my shoulders right now. I'm feeling a little nervous. So I'm just going to try to relax those out. Then I'm going to shift to a state of gratitude. I'm really grateful that my boss wants to talk to me now so we can clear the air about something. Okay, then we want to protect your peak energy hours. Identify natural peak states. So when are you most productive? Is it 10 o'clock in the morning? Is it 2 o'clock in the morning? Notice those times. and keep your energy around those times. So try to do the most productive things in those times, have your meetings at those times, and then protect those times. I start to crash at 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. I do not like to set a meetings unless I absolutely have to at 4 or 5 o'clock. So I keep those boundaries. It has to be really, really important for me to set a 4 to 5 o'clock meeting. I'll put it that way. So that's protecting those peak hours. Schedule under energy levels, use boundaries to anchor with breath, or you can try and find a playlist to listen to. There's tons of them on Spotify, YouTube. Okay, so we're going to do a 2-minute nervous system reset. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, feel free to close your eyes if you want, or you keep them open, doesn't matter. We're going to drop in for 20 or 30 seconds. So we're going to sit. We're going to stand with our feet flat on the ground. And we're going to close our eyes or just soften your gaze. You can just kind of soften your gaze. And then we're going to bring one hand to our chest and the other one to our lower belly. And then silently to yourself say, I am here. Notice how you're feeling. And just breathe naturally. We're just arriving at this feeling. Next, we're going to regulate the breath. So we're going to breathe in through our nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to exhale through our mouth for 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do it one more time. Breathing in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. And then release through your mouth. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then as you exhale, continuing to do this later on, letting go of other people's energies. You're going to soften your jaw and your shoulders, relax into this breath. And then you're going to tell yourself, I am safe to slow down. I lead best with what's in from within. Then you can open your eyes and then ask yourself and be honest with yourself. What are you feeling right now, emotionally and physically? Then what does your body need from you at this moment? Does it need to take a moment just to sit with this feeling? Do you need to get up and release some energy, shake it off, dance it off, go for a walk? And then ask, what would leading from my frequency, for my true self, through the calmness look like for me today? Let your answers come intuitively, not from your mind. So the first thing that pops in that you feel in your body is the answer. Breathe in deeply one more time after that. You're going to exhale slowly. You open your eyes when you're ready. So the program I put together is called The Frequency of Her. And there's 4 frameworks. The first is regulation. So we have the ability to create inner stability through nervous system attunement, emotional awareness, and grounding practices that keep you steady under pressure. Reconnecting. We're going to lead from energetic congruence of your words, your energy, your actions. They're all in alignment and felt by others as trustworthy presence. So when we show up authentically, people start to trust us more. Repatterning. Identify and releasing leadership habits rooted in survival, overperformance, and self-doubt. Create new patterns from self-worth and intuition. So we're actually going to repattern the way that we lead. Then we're going to be radiant. So radiance comes through. The visible, natural confidence that emerges when you're emotionally clear. You're energetically grounded, and you're no longer hiding parts of yourself to be accepted. Again, this is how we reclaim our feminine leadership from the inside out. So when we do this, what becomes possible? Our decision-making becomes clear and fast. We're intuitive beings, remember. So we know exactly what it is. We go for the right answer, and we stay on that path. Because we trust ourselves. Your team is going to trust your energy because you trust yourself. How many times you walked into a room where somebody has an idea and concepts, but they don't trust whatever they're trying to say? You're not going to trust them. But how many times have you walked into a meeting or a room and someone has an idea and they totally believe it? You start to trust them, right? You start to believe them. That's because they're leading through the trust. Conflict becomes clarity, not chaotic. You lead without leaking energy. You're not leaking all your energy out. You're not going home exhausted at the end of the day. You're walking around with all this positive energy inside yourself, and you're filling your cup up because you're staying grounded where you can let it overflow. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to be hard. You don't need to be up like a man, like people say. You just need to return to who you are. And again, I want to preference there's nothing wrong with masculine energy, because we need part of that. We need the balance of it, a healthy balance of it. All right. So if you like this and you want to continue, maybe love to work with you guys. I have a free 30-minute presence and power consultation. We'll kind of go over your needs and look at how you can shift your leadership energy, your ability, emotional safety, and lead without losing yourself. The QR code for that goes directly to the link to schedule something on my calendar. I do have something super, super exciting that I want to announce. Again, is we're having a retreat in Austin, Texas, June 5th or 8th. The cost is only $800, guys. Only $800, which is, it's about a $4,000 to $5,000 value what we're going to do. We're going to have some inner child healing. We're going to do somatic sessions. We're going to do breath work. We're going to do meditation. We're going to do energy work. I'm going to give you guys special activations around this energy work that you can use to lead and guide yourself through. And you're going to get private intuitive energy healing from me. So all this includes your accommodations, which you get your own private or your own queen size bed. Most of the rooms are private. All the food will kind of create a sisterhood. We like to come together and cook meals. If you don't want to cook, I obviously will. My daughter's joining me. We love to cook. Be all healthy food. We're gonna do some hiking. We're gonna do all kinds of fun, cool stuff. They have a fire pit at the home that I've reserved for us, and so we can have some awesome little sisterhood circles outside too. I only have 5 spots left. So if you're interested in this, want to find out more information, definitely reach out to me through email as well. And I would love to chat with you, see if this is a good fit. Cool. Okay. Any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself.
No questions, but that was cool. And I always appreciate a midday deep breath moment. I do it naturally.
How did you get into this line of work?
Oh, good great question. So I hit the hustle burnout hamster wheel, got my head against the wall, and said I can't do anymore. And so I literally had, when about 2017, I call what I call a nervous breakdown. And I was just like crying out to God, and the universe was like, I can't do this anymore. And so I started to change my mindset and started this really, really deep path of inner healing. I grew up in a very fear-based home, a lot of kind of emotional trauma behind that I've brought into my entire adulthood, my lives, unfortunately, part of my parenting as well too. But I just hit a point where I couldn't do this anymore. And so I started going down this path, and I fell in love with it. And so then I learned how to lead my businesses through my business and other people by doing these principles and coming back into my true feminine power of who I am, not the masculine person that I felt when I was in sales or running businesses and really like all the things I had to do. Taking that masculine approach just didn't work for me, as well as it doesn't for a lot of women too. There's not really our nature to run that, our businesses and stuff like that. So that's how I got into it. Yeah. I've been doing it for many years. I love it. So cool. Well, thank you, ladies. If you have any more questions, I appreciate you spending these 20 minutes with me this morning. And again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to do these every 2 weeks or so. I will have to take a break in June. The end of June, we're going to Europe for a few weeks, but I'm going to have these webinars too. If you guys signed up on this, I will email the links out to you as well for the next one. So there'll be different topics. If you have a suggestion for something you want to hear, want to learn about, just let me know.
Awesome.
What's your
This is great. Thank you so
yes,
much.
thank you. What's your website?
It's aliciafarricielli.com.
Okay.
So it's at the bottom. Yeah. ALICIA. Yeah, Farricielli.com. It's a long last name.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right,
Well, I
ladies.
appreciate you joining me live, and for the audience out there, thanks for tuning in. And I will talk to everyone in a couple weeks.
Have a great day, everyone.
You too. Bye.
Bye.